Hi guys, I'm Mark Rodriguez.
I'm Johnny Rodriguez, and you are watching the Video Game Masters.
We hope you all had a happy Halloween, and just like last year, we went back to Insert Corner to talk about another arcade classic.
Last year we checked out the X-Men and the Simpsons, but now we're going to be checking out the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Alright, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, alright. Back to the sewers! Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles!
Way back.
Oh, yeah, the other version. Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles! Turtles got them all! One, two, three, four!
You know, the old Turtles from the 80s.
Oh, the classic
yeah,
one.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Okay, man, cut it out. Stop singing and let's review the game.
Oh, fine.
In 1989, Konami hit the arcades with the awesome and incredible 4-player Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. With elements based on the first 5 episodes of that classic 80s show, the Turtles go through 8 levels to rescue their good friend April O'Neil and their master Splinter and defeat the evil Shredder.
The first level is April's apartment, which has been set on fire. The boss of this stage is Rocksteady, armed with a machine gun. But even when you defeat him, Shredder swoops in and kidnaps April. The second stage is the streets of New York as you beat up waves of foot soldiers. And this innocent teenage girl. The boss is Bebop, fighting with this weird gun that shoots energy rings. The third stage is the sewers, in which you fight against more foot soldiers and the Mousers. The boss of this stage is Baxter Stockman that flies around a rocket that shoots out even more Mousers. The fourth stage is pretty short and basically leads a fight against Bebop and Rocksteady at the same time. If you get past them, you finally rescue April. Stage 5 and 6 are both street levels without any bosses. Stage 5 has you walking down the streets avoiding cars as you fight, and Stage 6 is a skateboarding level where you face these bomb-dropping helicopters. Stage 7 is a factory where you fight these flying bug robots called Turbular Transports. The boss of this stage is one of the Stone Warriors armed with a flamethrower. He didn't have a name in the cartoon, but the NES version calls him Granitor. Stage 8 is a Technodrome which is full of traps, foot soldiers, roadkill Ronnies, bowling balls, and other things. The boss of this stage is General Trag, and he's armed with a gun that fires missiles. Then you face the 2 final bosses. The first is Krang, attacking you with his android body. Then you finally face the Shredder himself. He splits into 2, and you have to keep attacking them until you finally defeat the real one. The fake Shredder loses his helmet after a few hits, and if you kill him, the real Shredder creates another copy. They also have a deadly lightning beam that turns you back into a normal turtle, which is a one-hit kill.
This game is action-packed and a whole lot of fun, and while it was hard to get other players to join us nowadays, the arcade was packed back in the day. The bad guys multiply depending on how many players there are in the game, so if you have all 4 turtles at the same time, the screen is literally crawling with foot soldiers. If you think the Shredder's bad, try fighting 8 Shredders at the same time with those cheap one-hit kills. At least finding pizza in the game helps refill your life bar, but the bad thing is there's only 1 pizza at a time, so all 4 players gotta scramble to see who gets it first.
Now, back in the day, there was also a home version for the 8-bit Nintendo called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. And it had several differences from the original arcade, so let's take a quick look at that.
The most noticeable difference, besides of course the 8-bit graphics, was that the game was only 2-player with 3 lives and 3 continues. I know later on Nintendo came out with the NES Advantage that would let you play 4-player games like sports games and the Nightmare on Elm Street game, but I think the flicker and slowdown of having all 4 turtles on screen at the same time would have made this game unplayable. Unlike sequels, you can't change the turtles when you continue, so you're stuck with the same turtle throughout the whole game. There were also Pizza Hut signs all over the game because the game came with a promotional coupon back then that would let you get free pizza. Oh man, a game that gave you free pizza. Those were the days. I'm also glad that Konami went with Pizza Hut instead of Chuck E. Cheese's, because the game would have been even more dated if we had Showbiz pizza signs all over the place. Yeah, that's right. I said Showbiz Pizza, where a kid can be a kid. We're going real old school in this episode.
Other small differences were that all 4 turtles were basically the same, while in the arcade, Leonardo and Donatello had longer reach due to their weapons. Raphael also had a rolling kick attack that was skipped out of the NES version. The turtles also can't throw the foot soldiers or slam them against walls, but they sure can slam you against the walls. And for some reason, the music in the sewer level was changed.
Another big difference is the basic storyline of the game, which is kind of different. I mean, you can't really tell the difference when you're actually playing the game, but the instruction book gives out this whole new thing that kind of tries to make it sound like a sequel to the first Turtle game and try to mix it up with the first movie that was out at the time. You know, in the original arcade, it's just basically the Shredder kidnaps April, we gotta save her. Oh, the Shredder also kidnaps Splinter, we gotta save him. But here, they got a lot more complicated, so let's take a quick look at that.
The reason it was called Turtles 2 the arcade game in the first place was because there already was a game for Nintendo called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now this game, as you can see, was very different from all the beat-em-ups that would follow. Similar to the X-Men game for the Genesis that we already reviewed, each turtle had 1 life and the game would let you switch between them at any time. If all 4 turtles died, the game is over, but at least this game gave you continues. It was one of the hardest games for Nintendo ever, and I'm sure many of you have had nightmares of that underwater stage where you have to disarm the bombs before time ran out. Anyways, the NES Turtles 2 storyline has Shredder return for revenge after his defeat in the first Nintendo game. The story says the Turtles threw him into the back of a garbage truck, much like the ending of the first Turtle movie back in the day. Now Shredder is back with Krang, and has an army of foot soldiers trained in the deadly art of Taekwondo! I guess, because, you know, in the cartoon, the foot soldiers always fought Taekwondo style, right? Anyways, he also hired 2 intergalactic bounty hunters that appear in 2 brand new stages. This means the Nintendo version has 10 stages compared to the arcade only having 8.
The first new stage is after the sewers, Snowy Central Park, where you fight Frosty the Hitman, robot snowmen that shoot missiles at you. Tora is the boss, and he comes from the planet Triangle Dune and hasn't been defeated in 2,000 years. If you notice, he's using the weather maker from the first 5 Turtle episodes to make the park snowy. Defeat him to turn the city back to normal. The next new stage is after the factory, the House of Shogun. Here you face some new enemies, these weird little guys named Blade, these robot scorpions named Venom, and these tigers that come out of paintings named Vincent van Gogh. The boss is Shogun from Sector 6 of the Dead Star Zone, and he uses the ultimate galactic sword. That looks more like a ninja spear if you ask me.
Another change is that instead of fighting with Bebop and Rocksteady at the same time, you fight Baxter Stockman again. But now, he's mutated into a fly, like the second season of the old series and onwards.
Later on, the game Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Battle Nexus for the PlayStation 2, which is based on the 2003 Turtles, actually had the arcade game hidden in the game. The only bad thing is that since the arcade, most of the music was based on like remixed versions of the original 80s cartoon theme song, and they didn't have the rights for that, they had this new song playing in every level.
Wow, it is kind of catchy and everything, but imagine playing the entire game with that music like non-stop, level per level. It's gotta be annoying after a while.
Later on, when Ubisoft bought the Ninja Turtle license, the game would also come out for the Xbox Live. However, it has this weird border with pictures based on the 2007 CGI movie, which I feel clashes horribly with the original 80s vibe since this game was made way before that. However, since Nickelodeon bought the Turtles franchise nowadays, Ubisoft lost the rights to the games, and you can no longer download the Turtle Arcade or the Turtles in Time reshelled game. Let's hope Nickelodeon gets smart and re-releases these games again sometime soon.
Here are our thoughts on the game. I think the game is crazy, it's a lot of fun, it's action-packed, and it gets really crazy when you get all 4 turtles, you know, beating the foot soldiers up or whatever. It's pretty cool. It's a cool beat-em up.
Yeah, it gets totally insane because the enemies multiply and the whole screen is just full of madness. Now, I gotta say, this is the first arcade game that we played back in the day, you know, aside from, you know, like Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and Dig Dug, all those classics, but of the more like modern stuff, the first real arcade that had us going to the arcades over and over was the Turtles arcade. It was an awesome game. And I know that the Turtles for Nintendo, yeah, it was simplistic and all that compared, but it's all we had back then, and it was still a lot of fun. So if you guys have the Nintendo version, or you live near to a place that still has the original Turtle arcade, like the cabinet over there, or if you have a friend that has the Xbox Live version, you know, before it got canceled, you should definitely check it out as a Ninja Turtle fan. It's that good of a game. So anyways, that wraps up today's episode of Video Game Masters. I'm Mark Rodriguez.
I'm Johnny Rodriguez.
Thanks for watching.
See you next time. Cut that music out already, jeez.
Man, to me, Tim Drake is always going to be the third Robin. Not this whole he was Red Robin from the start crap. Oh, hi, Mark. What the hell? Who are you? And how come you look exactly like me? But I am you, in a certain way. I'm Mark Rodriguez, but from another dimension. And unlike this one where you waste your time making YouTube shows with your good guy version of Johnny, where I come from, Johnny and I cause chaos, death, and destruction wherever we go. And now we're gonna bring that kind of fun to this dimension. Another me? And another Johnny from another dimension? What the hell is this crap? Is this some kind of bad joke from Angel or Nan Moore or something? Well, anyways, what are you up to? Well, the plan is quite simple. The first thing we're going to do is replace the Mark and Johnny of this dimension by destroying both of you. Then we'll take over the show, we'll ruin it, we'll get rid of all your stupid friends, and then we'll plunge this world deep into chaos. Who knows? Maybe I'll ask this Paige for a date. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to stop me first. Come at me, bro. Well, here's something you might not know about us. Not only do we talk about the games, review them, and master them, but as internet reviewers, we even copy the techniques from the games. Here's an example just for you. Kamehameha! Oh, please. What the hell? My only question is, why do you waste your time on such a powerful attack when a simple one will do the trick? Okay! What the? I'll be back, and I'm gonna bring Johnny with me, and when we do, we'll destroy the both of you.